Hey y'all, it's Casey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how God has revealed himself to me for me to be like, oh yeah, that was God and there's no denying it. I could sit here all day and tell you how my life was led to Christ and how he has shown himself to me over and over and over again. But I only have 15 minutes that I can make a video and upload it to YouTube. So I'm going to stick to that time frame and hopefully I can get all of these stories, or not stories, but experiences in this video. Okay, so this one might sound a little crazy to some of you, but this was God and his perfect timing, and just listen. In 2016, I was 18. I was turning 19. I was on a very, very dark road and going down a very bad path. I was filling myself with drugs and alcohol and the love of others. Of all the days, September 11th, 2016, my first dog, Cookie, died very unexpectedly. She was 9 years old. She was a German mixed bloodhound, and like I said, very unexpected. We had no idea. We didn't know why. And then not too long after that, my Nana's toy poodle died. We called her Nana's tumor, and she ended up having tumors. The puppy, or the dog, she was 19 years old. So I was like, my next dog I want is a pit bull, and I'm going to name him Jace. For my 19th birthday, I went to Texas to see a friend of mine, and I was telling her Cookie passed away because she knew who Cookie was. I told her that I want my next dog to be a pit bull, and she was like, oh, I know someone that just had pit bull puppies. We can see if you can get one from him. And I was like, yes, let's do it. Note, I only had maybe $100 to my name, like going to Texas, like that was my spending money. And $100 does not even cover half of the payment for a full-blood pit bull puppy. Just saying, I honestly don't even know how much they go for, probably like $1,000 or something. So when we got there, we were checking these puppies out. There were 4 total. There were 3 boys and a girl. And so we were playing with them for a little bit, and the guy who owned them walked out and was like, yeah, you can just have the boys. We just want the girl. My friend took 1 and I took 2. And I've made a previous video of how my pit bulls have saved my life, and it goes into that of where I was in my life and how they emotionally saved me. And also how I wasn't supposed to end up with 2, but I did, and that was a blessing as well. I love both of them. They're my babies. Okay, anyways. So this is also gonna sound crazy to people because I feel like if I heard someone say this, I'd be like, okay. When I was a little girl, I don't know why, well, I'll say in a minute why. About 6-ish, I prayed to God that when the time comes, way in the future, that when I find my future husband, that he will be a God-fearing, God-loving, God-obeying man. So, I mean, 6 years old, I'm not thinking of boys or whatever, but for some reason I just remember praying that, and I think I was praying that because I didn't have that man figure in my life. The example of a man I had in my life was very toxic and not Christ-centered. I know I didn't want that in my life in the future, and so I think that's why I prayed for that. Many years later, like I just explained, I was going down a very dark path, and I somehow found my husband, who is very God-loving, God-fearing, God-obeying. Like, where I was in my life, I don't know how he even wanted me because of where I was and how I was living life, and it definitely was not God-centered, God-focused, God anything. That was a prayer answered. Tell me God's not real. You can't change my mind. Okay, this one, at the time of when this happened, it blew my mind. I used to go sit outside with the dogs when it felt great outside, and I would read my Bible and write some verses down that stuck out to me, and then I would write my prayers down. There was one day in particular where I didn't do this like hardly at all, but the prayer I was praying, I was just thanking God for everything around me. I was thanking him for how beautiful it was outside, how beautiful the clouds looked in the sky, how the breeze was going, and it just didn't make it feel too hot. It felt just right outside. I was just thanking him for his creation. As I was writing, I wrote down, thank you for the birds singing and how beautiful they sound. Just then, okay? Just then, as soon as I wrote thank you for these birds singing, like, I'm gonna have to get my book because I have that prayer. Like, I have it, and I know I dated it. I had to find it somewhere. It's somewhere. A bird came and perched. That's not the word. It came and it flew on this wire, you know, the telephone wires or whatever, because we have it running behind our house. It came and it landed on that, just one bird. Out of all the birds that were on the other side of this wire, on the house beside us, like, there were birds over there, but there weren't any birds on our side. He flew over, he was facing me, and he started singing for like 10 minutes. As I was going down my list and I said, thank you for the birds singing, this one random bird came and sat on this wire and started singing for about 10 minutes straight. I felt the presence of God, and I just started bawling, like how awesome and beautiful that was, and just how amazing he is. That sounds crazy, but it happened, and it was God. I have no doubt in that, because it's not just how like coincidental, you know, that was, and I just felt the presence of God. Like, this is probably gonna sound crazy to some of you, but those are just like some things that have happened and where I've been like, oh yeah, that's God. There's so much more. I just want all of you to remember that you're going to pray and ask God to do things and bring things or bring people into your life. It's not about your timing. It's about God's timing. He will do these things and put these things in your life when he knows is the right time for you. Might not feel like the right time to you, but just trust in God. Put your trust, your hope, your faith, your everything in God, and he will deliver. I don't know if I'm saying anything right, but you get what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm still new in my faith and my relationship with Christ. So if any of you have ever had something like that happen to you where you just know without a doubt that it was God, you would like to share, then I encourage you to comment down below or even email me. I have a YouTube email that you can definitely email me at, and I will respond to it. I would love that. That'd be so awesome. And if you would like me to share, then I would definitely share. So that is all for me, y'all. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope all of you have a lovely week, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.